at 34.
Yes.
And then actually it's 30.
I don't know what he did.
Good job. Yeah, 30. I think that's almost done when I said that. I didn't say you did it, which actually makes sense to me because
Hold on. So 30 plus 4. Wouldn't it be? Oh, actually. I want to see. Why big number?
Oh, 14. Oh, got it. That works.
yeah, 14 it's the second.
14 and 8. 14 and 8.
Yeah, it's negative.
Yeah, it's 14 and 8.
No, it's not. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 8. 14. One 12.
112.
And it's negative 1. It's being negative.
Oh, shoot.
Just numbers from the second line and multiply by the first line. Hey, you getting that A on the test?
Yeah, I don't expect that.
First one, x plus 30 and x plus 4. The second one, I got x plus 30. And second one. Wait, what? Yeah. I like to do
As long as it works.
All right, the main reason I gave you these two.
One of them has no solution. That was both four tests. I got like a C minus.
These aren't easy ones just to do in your head. And so I wanted to make sure we again talk about that plan on how to figure something out if you just can't look at it and get it. If the numbers are smaller, you know, some of you like, all right, I can figure that out. But these aren't quite as easy. Now, what's the key? What are we looking at? Zane, how do we figure this out? What's the kind of the idea?
See them in like, I don't know, I forget what it's called, but the parentheses.
Right. Well, how do I figure out those two numbers? What it has to do with the 120 and the 34.
What about like the first one? X is, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to do it.
They have to add up to get 34 and multiply to get 120.
All right. And I think you know this. You just, they multiply to get 120 and they add to get 34. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. So like you might be able to mentally do that, but like 120, that's not an easy one to come up with. So you want to start now. You got to look at their signs. These are, if it ends in a positive, they both got to be positive, or they both have to be negative. But this is only going to work if they're both positive. So I'm always going to start with 1 times 120. Always start with 1, and so I don't skip anything. And now, Preston, what would my chart look like here after this?
2 times 60.
2 times 60. What's 2 plus 60?
62.
So that can't be the answer. What's next?
3 times 40.
3 times 40. And what's 3 plus 40?
43.
So that one doesn't work. What's next?
4 times 30.
4 times 30, which is, and then 4 plus 30 is 34. Once you get to that number, it works for both of them, you're done. Okay, you don't need to keep going on it. So, and now our answer is x plus 4 times x plus 30. Now you can switch the order and put x plus 30 times x plus 4, doesn't matter. All right, now for number 2, it ends in a negative. 112, like that's how you know off the top of your head. You're like, oh yeah, I know what equals 112. No, you're gonna have to go through a little bit of work. So it multiplies equal negative 112 at the same time adds to get 6. Jay Lee, did you do a chart?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you got on your chart?
I have -2 times 56.
All right, I'm gonna start, even though I know, I'm gonna start with -1. And -1 times 112. And I want the smaller one to be negative because when I add them together, if the smaller one's negative, I'll get a positive. And so you said -2 times 56, right? And that adds up to what? Positive 54. All right, then what else you got?
I have -4 times 28.
Does 3 work? Anybody? I'm not sure. No? Okay, so -4 times, what'd you say, 28?
Yeah.
And what's that add up to?
24.
Okay, so that adds up to 24. We want 6. Then how about 5 doesn't work? How about 6? Does anybody know if 6 works? No?
I have -7 times 16.
-7 times 16. Good, and that adds up to what?
9.
9. And -8 times what?
14.
And that adds up to what?
6.
There we go. And that's what we want. So it's going to be x minus 8 times x plus 14. Okay.
I mean, I said 4, but
I think so.
I'm just betting.
Hey, let's take a look at your answers here. Or give me your answers. Christian, on that back, number 1, what do you got?
Yeah.
Kind of help.
Yes. You sped up the process.
I hope you won the test.
Hey, Colin. And what'd you say, x plus 5 and what?
X plus 2.
I said X plus 3, but that's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, Zane?
X plus 2.
X plus 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 plus 2 is 7. That works. All right, Colin, how about number 4?
X plus 2 times X plus 7.
X plus 2 times x plus 7. Good. Allie, how about number 7? Good. They both have to be negative. X minus 3, x minus 6. Tommy, how about number 10?
X minus 2 and X minus 10.
Good. X minus 2, x minus 10 on that one. Joe, how about 13?
X minus 2, X minus 9. I mean, X minus 2, X plus 9.
X minus 2, x plus 9. Good. Rachel, how about 16?
X minus 3 and then X plus 5.
Good. X minus 3, x plus 5, because they got to multiply to get a negative and add to get a positive. Preston, how about 19?
X plus 1 and X minus 6.
All right, good. This one is missed a good bit.
Are you serious?
I am. In London, how about 22?
X minus 8 and X plus 7.
X minus 8, x plus 7. All right, either you guys are really good, and you got really good over the last day, or you're just somehow fooling me. But it seems much better on that one. Now we're going to throw a little curveball at you. I wasn't going to, but Mr. Schler wanted to, so I'm going to blame him.
I said, you guys, this is too easy for you, so we gotta complicate it a little bit.
All right, let's. I'm going to hand out the guided notes in a second.
Complicated.
Wait till I go through this.
All right, here's what's going to happen. Listen up. When you put a number in front of the x squared, so far everything, let me go back here. Everything we have had has just been x squared, okay? When you put a number in front of that, that changes things a little bit, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, this is the trinomial. One of those two is correct. Which one is correct, Colin?
B.
B. And then how can you either prove it or disprove it?
So that has two X's, and that would have the 4 X.
Well, actually multiply, but we got 4x times x, which multiplies to what? 4x squared. With these, Colin.
So when you do the 4x times 1 is 4, but then the 3x times x is, would equal 7, not 8.
What's 4x times x? 4x squared. What's 4x times 1? Plus 4x. 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 1 is 3. And now add 4x and 3x, it gives me 7x. So you're right. Is that what the original one is? So that can't be right. So we'll take a look at B. Now let's not assume 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 times 3 is 3. And what do I get when I add those together? I get that original one, right? Now, here's the problem. We've taught you what two numbers that multiply to get 3, add to get 8. But 1 times 3 is 3. Does 1 plus 3 equal 8? No. So when we throw a number in front of the x squared, it changes things a little bit. They still got to multiply to get 3. All right, and I'll go through here strategy in a second. All right, take a look at this one. Which one would be correct for that? Is it A or is it B? So basically to figure out when it's right is you got to FOIL it back together to get the original. Okay, B. He says B. 2x times x. 2x squared. 2x times negative 6 is minus 12x plus 3x. Negative 6 times 3 is minus 18. What's negative 12 plus 3? Is that right? Why not, Joe? You just want to say no. When I FOIL it, do I get back that original? Yes. Yes, so now, all right, we're going to throw a number in front of the x squared. That changes things a little bit. But nothing you can't handle. Okay, nothing you can't handle.
No, yeah, give me that. You have mercy today.
Hey.
I don't think I could do it. I don't.
You don't think what?
I'll be able to do this.
You haven't even taught you how yet. So far.
You didn't even.
Good job.
You know how to FOIL. That's something new.
Hey, just think about it. All you have to do is
Don't worry about those first two at the top. Okay. All right, there are some things that will help us, but there's going to be a little bit of element. We're got to check our answer. Okay, you're not going to just be able to automatically look at it. When you had a problem with no number in front of the x squared, so if I had x squared plus 7x plus 12, you just said I need two numbers that multiply to 12, add to get 7. It would be 4 and 3. That always works if there's no number in front of the x squared. But when you throw a number in front, it changes things. So kind of that second part right there. Like I said, don't worry about FOILing those first two. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So the factor, that should say ax squared plus bx plus c. Check the factors of a and the factors of c in the binomial. The sum of the outer and inner terms should be b. So there are two things that will have to work. Whatever is in your first term here and your first term here have to multiply together to get ax squared. So if this is a 2x and this is a 2x, it has to multiply to get 4x squared. And whatever's in the last term, here and here, still has to multiply together to give me this 3. That has to work. You're gonna have to FOIL it though to double check to see the middle term. And the only parts we need to FOIL are the outer and the inner. So 2x times 3 is 6x. 1 times 2 is 2x. Those add up to 8x. All right, let's start from the beginning with something we don't know the answer to. All right, that's your first one there, right about halfway down the page. 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. When you see a trinomial and it doesn't have a GCF, you need to immediately think it's going to factor into two binomials. These first two have to multiply together to give me what? Sam, let's see if I've explained any of this correctly.
To get 3.
3 what?
3x.
You gotta multiply together to give me 3x squared. All right, can you give me something that multiplies together to give me 3x squared?
1 and 3.
1 and 3, but we gotta put an x with both of them. Okay, so you're right. Now I like to start with a bigger number. So I'm gonna put a 3x and an x. These last two numbers, what do they have to multiply to give me?
-8.
-8. So what could be my options?
2 and 4, or -2 and 4.
So you want me to put -2 here? So -2, +4. Okay, that is a possible correct answer. I don't know whether it's right because we gotta FOIL it out and see whether we get -2 in the middle. All right, so the only thing about this one is there's a little bit of work. Now, some of you will be able to do some of this in your head to verify it. Some of you are gonna need to write it down. I have to write it down. 3x times 4. I know 3x times x is 3x squared, so that's taken care of. I know -2 times 4 is -8. That's taken care of. We just got to do the outer. And what's 3x times 4 give me? It gives me 12x. And -2 times x is -2x. What do those add up to? 10x. If I'm right, what do I need it to add up to? -2x. So is that the answer? No. Okay, it's not the answer. But it's a possible answer. Zach?
Wouldn't it be -4 + 2?
So 3x minus 4 and x plus 2 like that?
Yeah.
All right, before you write anything down, just pay attention. Okay, because I don't want you to have to keep erasing. All right, 3x times x is 3x squared. We're good there, -4 times 2. 3x times 2 is +6x. -4 times x is -4x. What do those add up to? 2x. What do we want? So we're really close, really close. If you got the right number in the wrong sign, all you have to do is what, Colin?
Make the 2 negatives also.
Not make the 2 negative, but you just switch your signs. So you make this a plus, and you make this one a minus. So if you got the right number, wrong sign, switch your sign. So now that becomes a -6x, +4x right there. There's your answer. There's your answer. All right, so make sure you get that down.
It says this.
Hey,
Yeah,
Got it?
It's the same thing on the other
I
side.
put the
What's that?
Does it matter about the word, like the word place?
Yes,
Okay.
because this -2 is with the 3x. And we already multiplied those together and we got something different. We got a 10x in the middle. So yes, you're going to get the same numbers a lot of times, but it does matter where you put them. Okay, so flipping them does affect the answer.
So we did still 3x times -2, so equals -6. Now it's +4 times x, which is +4x. It's 4 minus 6.
Okay. All right, take a look at this one. Number 2. Connor, we'll let you take first crack at it.
Okay.
Okay, I want 2 binomials. Okay, because you got a trinomial with nothing in common. The first 2 numbers have to multiply together to give me what?
numbers.
Now look here, this is like standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. A here is 2. 2 is a prime number, okay? Which means which makes this first part way easier, because there's only one thing that can multiply to give me 2, which is what? 2 and
1.
2 and 1. So it's gotta be 2x and x. There's no other option I can have there.
All right, now you want to take it to the last number, 21. What are the factors of 21? Connor, what multiplies together to give me 21?
7 and 3.
3 and 7. Don't forget 1 and 21. Anything else?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so either. So, since this is a plus and this is a plus, these both need to be pluses.
Welcome back.
These two numbers now have to multiply to give you 21. Either there needs to be a 1 and a 21 or a 3 and a 7. Order does matter. So you got to trial and error. So some of you might be able to put them in here and kind of mentally check them. Some of you are going to need to just check them. So you got to put two numbers that multiply to get 21. All right, Connor, what order do you want me to put them in?
Do 3 and 7.
All right, he says 3 and 7. So now we test it to see whether it's right. Okay, Preston, what do I have to do to test it?
You multiply 3 by everything?
Multiply 3 by
I don't
everything.
remember.
No.
Okay. Do you know 2x times x is 2x squared?
Yes.
Do you know 3 times 7 is 21?
Yes, you
We have to check this here, and here we check it by doing the outer and the inner and seeing if they add up to 17. What's 2x times 7? What's 3 times x?
Three.
What do those add up to?
17.
So Connor must be a good guesser. That lets me know that answer is right. 2x plus 3 times x plus 7. That is my answer. Okay. Now, here's one thing you got to watch. Somebody will say, well, what if I just flip the 7 into 3? That doesn't necessarily give you the same answer. Because if I flip that, 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. 7 times x is 7x. And 7 times 3 is 21. I'll get the 2x squared, but what do I get in the middle? I get a what? 13? Is that what I wanted? No, so that means that's not right. So it's very important what order you put them in. So even if I try 7 and 3 in one slot, it doesn't work, I can flip the order. Okay, for that. But you're going to have to check it. 3x squared minus 16x plus 16. All right, let's give everybody a chance here, Tom. You already know it.
Oh.
I
don't know.
Okay. And sometimes you just got to try something.
You already know.
All right, Joe, what are you going to try? No, you've already got a never mind. Jordan.
-8.
Okay. What goes in for the first slot?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay. My bad. I wasn't paying attention. Okay.
You got another try, or you just want to pass on?
I'm just gonna pass it.
That's fine. Joe, you want to?
Would it be 3x and x?
All right, 3x and x are really my only two options for 3x squared. Okay, only two options. All right, Colin.
Then -4 and -4.
Okay, he says -4 and -4. They have to multiply together to give me positive 16. And since in the end, my middle term has to be a negative, that lets me know they both have to be negative. All right, so he has 3x minus 4 times x minus 4. Check it. See if you think it's right.
Wait, it is. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Check it and see if you think it's right. I know 3x times x is 3x squared. I know -4 times -4 is positive 16. So I do the outer. 3x times -4 is negative 12x. -4 times x is minus 4x. Gives me minus 16x. Is that what we wanted?
No.
What do you mean no?
It's a negative. Right?
Look at the problems.
Yeah, but that's a negative.
But you underlined it as positive.
I did that one for originally up here, -4 times -4.
Just ignore my stupid.
Ignore my stupid.
Okay. 3x squared plus 7x minus 6. You're down.
Oh, no, you didn't? Why don't you have Alright.
Alright, take a second.
Can I
See what
to review myself?
You can show Mr. Short. I don't want you to embarrass yourself.
Say hi to Gilbert. It's disrespecting Gilbert like that. It's too good for you. Gilbert really just like a crushed 1/2 infinity sign. It's like an infinity sign, but you just. What do you have that last one?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Plus 3 minus 2 plus.
It's -2 plus 3.
Well, they
get Try it. -2 plus 3. I think that's what it is. I mean, I did the work. Yeah. Because it's 9 minus 2.
What are you supposed to do? Where's your sign? Jaylee, good?
No.
It literally just eats water.
How do we go?
It's like, oh, I need water.
Oh, you don't know how to.
No, I think my power can go out first.
Work on your multiplier.
Yeah, you like break it and put water. It's like, I mean, like a watermelon or slice.
Alright, Jaylee, what do you got?
3x minus 2 and x plus 3.
Okay, now here, 3x times 3 is 9x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. It adds up to 7x, so that works. Alright, let me give you a little bit of a clue so it's not a total guessing game. For something like this, bless you. Does the original problem have a GCF? Does it have anything that goes into all 3 numbers? Okay, no. So here's what's going to happen. That means if I got 2 and 3, okay, I know, and let me give you a clue here. I know that this will never work. If your original problem doesn't have a GCF, you cannot have a GCF in one of your terms. So these both have what in common? They both have a 3 in common. I know that will never work. So you don't ever really have to try it. This one doesn't have a GCF and this one doesn't. I also know that if I use 3x and x, 6 times 1 could work, but I would never try that because 3 and 6 have what in common? A 3. Okay, so it reduces the ones you try. You would have to try 3x minus 1 and x plus 6. That is a valid possibility. But I don't need to try anything that has something in common as long as there's no GCF up there. Okay? All right, flip it over. And now I get 2x squared minus 9x plus 10. Two binomials. All right, what has to go in the first 2 slots? What has to go in the first 2? Morgan, do you know?
2x and x.
2x and x. Good. What do my signs have to be? If you look at that, you should be able to stand. You know how to figure out what your signs have to be.
Yeah. Aren't they both negative?
They both have to be negative because they have to multiply to get a positive and add to get a negative. All right, now, let me put something in that I know is wrong. Don't write this down. 2 times 5 is 10. But I know this will never work Why would this never work? Jordan, never mind.
It doesn't
Great.
add to 9.
Say it
It
again.
doesn't add to 9.
It doesn't add to 9, but even before I do that part, Morgan, the twos have a GCF in common. And so I know that will not end up adding up to the 9. Okay, you can still try it, but like you said, you're gonna be wasting your time. Now, 5 and 2 might work if I flip the order, because now they don't have a GCF. So if I flip that order, that's at least a possibility. Well, is that the answer? 2x times -2 is minus 4x. -5 times x is minus 5x, adds up to what? -8. So I know I'm right. All right, you try number 6. You haven't done so yet. You try number 6. Now, if it's just a plus x in the middle, remember there's a 1 there. Yeah. Oh, make sure you guys fix it.
I don't know.
One and 10 goes by. One on the side. I'm gonna try it. Oh, yeah, okay. Seven, eight, and it's like 10. And number.
Alright, I know that'll never work.
See, I didn't realize.
2 and 10 have a common 2.
Which I could bet.
You can try 10 over there and 1 there, but I know the 10 won't ever work that way. Yeah. You got it yet? Alright, that'll never work because the 2 and the 10 have something common.
4 in the morning.
So negative
4, 4:45.
Alright, just keep working down below that.
Can you try 10?
Yeah.
Why do I use
It's not.
Alright, now what are your sides at? That's negative there. Got it yet? No. Got it yet? Morgan's it.
Give up. Oh. Five on this side, 2 on this side.
Got it?
I'm still getting.
Try that.
What are your signs?
So if I have X, there it is.
Alright, you guys try something.
5 X.
Alright, Zane, right here, you're up. Give me something to try, Zane. Alright, Zane.
2x plus 5. And then -2.
Alright, that's a possibility. We don't have any GCFs here with those two. And so we want to test it. 2x times -2 is minus 4x. 5 times x. It's positive 5x. So positive 5 minus 4 is 1x. Is that what we want in the middle?
Yes.
That's your answer. Did anybody else think they have something else that works? Good. You might have something else that doesn't work. Okay, but there shouldn't be anything else that works. Now, if you tried the 2 here and the 5 here, it's not going to work. Okay, and your really only options for 10 are 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. Okay. All right, one last one. One last one. Now, this one is a tiny bit harder. Tiny bit. But not too hard for you.
Or add up to 6.
Multiply. Hey, anybody know why this one's a little bit harder?
The middle number's bigger than the, right?
The middle number doesn't affect it as much.
It says the number in front of the x squared isn't a prime number.
It's not a prime number, so I got more than one option. It could be 6x times x, or it could be 2x times 3x. Okay? You don't know yet which one it is. Now, and so that's the problem. Sometimes you gotta just trial and error. You just gotta take some numbers and guess. Now, let's see here. This is where the fact that I'm gonna go with the two numbers that kind of make sense to me first. So when I think of 6, what pops into my head is 2 times 3. I want to try that first. When you think 12, what two numbers do you think multiply together to get 12? What pops in your head first? Yeah. All right, you got 2 and 6. Now, I want to show you something here. Because 2 and 6, they both have to be positive. How do you know that's never going to work? I don't even need to bother to try that.
6
One and
or 2 and 2 have.
These have something in common,
Yeah.
and those have something in common. What if I flip the order, though?
6 and 2.
6 and 2 also have something in common. So do I even need to try them? No. Zach?
It's 3x plus 4 and then 2x plus 4.
All right, he says 2x plus 3 times 3x plus 4. All right, do they have anything in common, first of all? Nope. So now you can test it. Test it by doing the outer, which is 8x, and doing the inner, which is 9x. Adds up to 17x. Are we right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're right. Okay, we're right. Now these take a little bit of trial and error at times, and that's okay. All right, I'm only giving you 12 problems.
Cut it down by 11.
All right,
Cut it down
14
by
problems.
11.
You just have to take 11 off and then I'll be
I'll give you
okay.
Andy's like,